news pastor asked a Los Angeles priest if he teaches his gang members he pastors the gospel, Father Boyle gave an unusual response. "Not really," Boyle said. "It's more important to live as if the truth were true, to go where love has not yet arrived, to choose to stand with the folks that God chooses to stand with. Lord, help us live as if your truth were true. Go where love has not yet arrived. Choose to stand with folks God chooses to stand with. Amen." Lord, help us live as if your truth were true. There is a truth that comes with being a rector. Every time your phone rings, fear courses through your veins. You hope for the good news, yet plan for the worst. This past Monday, the phone rang. I took a holy breath, then answered. Parishioner Crystal Cartier had met a freckle-faced mischief maker at the age of 6, and now 10 years later, Derek, age 16, had died. Would I please do her friend's funeral? In all my years of pastoring children, I've never been asked to bury one myself. The words of Sufi Master Hafez flooded my soul. Run, my dear, from anything that may not strengthen your precious budding wings. Run like hell, my dear, from anyone likely to put a sharp knife into the sacred, tender vision of your beautiful heart. I wanted to run. Problem is, I have a brother named Rob, a Marine by trade, who explains most people run from fear. We Marines run towards it. I wanted to run. Problem is, I work for a man named Jesus, and this man, Jesus, never ran from sorrow, from sadness, from fear, from death. So part of me that was not me said yes. Part of me that did not believe I could said I can. I will. How long do I have to plan the funeral? I asked. 2 days, said Crystal. Today's gospel begins in this way. 6 days after Peter had acknowledged Jesus as the Christ, the Son of the living God, Jesus took with him Peter and James and his brother John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. Now, on face value, this one sentence sounds oh so lovely. 4 friends going on a hike. 4 friends going on a holiday. 4 friends going on a spa weekend. Alas, my friends, that's not the case. Actual translation. 6 days earlier, Jesus called, gave them the worst news ever. They were all going on purpose to march towards death, to Jerusalem, where Jesus would suffer and be killed. And then Jesus says, guys, guess what? Because you are my followers, you are signing up for the very same raw deal. I will die, and then you in turn will suffer and die as well in my image for my kingdom. In the Message translation, Jesus explains it to his disciples in this way: don't run from suffering. Embrace it. Follow me. So Jesus took them. Now there's a verb. Took them. No choice. To a mountain where the news could settle in. Pastor Boyle counsels, go where love has not yet arrived. Today, we celebrate Transfiguration Sunday, a swing Sunday. We who keep the Christian calendar know we're at that hinge moment, turning away from the happy twinkling lights and stars of Christmas and Epiphany, moving deliberately and plainly towards the cross. So many Christians remove themselves completely from this part of the journey. They pack the churches on Easter morn, but forego the heavy lifting period for the soul called Lent. Elizabeth Herbert Cottrell's poem Lent Calls says it all. Lent calls to me again. To do what? Like Martha, I tend towards doing. Doing is something I understand. Chairing a committee, taking food to the sick, reading the Bible. Lent, though, calls to me again. Jesus wants more of me. And I'm frightened. Frightened of losing control, frightened of letting go, frightened of what he might ask me to do if I really listened. Lent calls to me again. A step is all I can manage, Lord. A hand extended, a head bowed, a conscious placing of myself on your potter's wheel. Lent calls to me again. Help me with the hard part, Lord. Help me surrender. Help me abandon. Help me reconcile myself to you. Lent calls to me again. To do less. Pray more. Say, be, become. The words of Isaiah. Here I am, Lord. Send me. Father Boyle charged, choose to stand with folks God chooses to stand with. This past Friday, I wrote an email to our bishop saying this. The funeral was this past Thursday. It was a packed house of teenagers, despite the fact the week was school vacation. I felt my whole life had readied me for this moment, one of the most powerful moments of my priesthood. Family was so frightened of church, so I did many things differently. I met with them around a dining room table with pastries I remembered, tissues the rector's husband remembered. Stood by their side for 3 hours straight as young men hugged me and said, sorry for your loss, and I replied, our loss, our loss. Episcopal liturgy blended with country music. I gave a sermon that offended some, bright with tears and anger. I learned we need to get out of our boxes. No need, as Peter suggests, to stay safe in place inside our boots. Let's accept frightening opportunities, like wrapping one's soul around the life of one who died too young, falling in love with a family of strangers, being willing to be transfigured by pain. Friends, we all struggle with fear, the unknown, darkness, with what to do next on our Christian journeys. In the weeks to come, May Jesus take our lives and let them be consecrated, Lord, for thee. May we live as if God's truth were true. Go where love has not yet arrived. Choose to stand with folks God chooses to stand with. For transfiguration comes by letting Christ take us not where